Hello, it's Blue22, and I've been thinking about what this channel means. Because this channel doesn't just represent myself, it represents the men's rights movement as a whole. And it's kind of a message I want to give to MRAs today, is think about how the things you do and say, not just online, but offline in your real life, represents the men's rights movement. Now, I've made some regrettable videos in the past. If you've been a subscriber for long enough, you know that sometimes I try and make these crazy videos because I try and go viral, but I always delete them because it never feels right the next day. I could make these crazy, outrageous, videos and get a bunch of clicks and get a bunch of views, but that just doesn't feel like the kind of person that I want to be, and that doesn't reflect how I want this channel to be taken seriously and be perceived. But what do I mean by in real life representing the men's rights movement? You have to remember that MRAs face a constant scrutiny. Everywhere that we go, we have a negative reputation. And lots of people have a lot of negative stereotypes and negative perceptions about the men's rights movement and about what men's rights activists believe. Now, it's one thing to make YouTube videos and talk about what you believe and talk about who you are as an MRA, and I do think that helps. I think if people come across a channel of someone talking about men's rights in a fair way, in a rational way, in a calm way, they're not being misogynistic, they're not spouting off a bunch of crazy nonsense, they may say, okay, well, maybe they're not quite so bad. But then people can always tell themselves, well, maybe they're just saying that because it's a video, and maybe they're just trying to put on a show. So how do you really show people who MRAs are? By how you act in real life, by how you act at school, by how you act at work, by how you act when you're not being a men's rights activist. Because one of the most annoying things is when people make their political identities their entire identity and their entire personality, and they quickly become the person that doesn't get invited to the parties because they're just really, really annoying. And I actually kind of went through a phase like that where I realized, whoa, I'm becoming one of those annoying people that I always talk about. So you have to remember there is a real life too. But you want to represent the men's rights movement everywhere you go, right? You want to represent the men's rights movement at work, at the gym, everywhere. So how do you do this? Well, it's about you. Be the kind of person that people find interesting, or that people think, hey, that's a good person. That's a solid dude. She's pretty cool. Be the person at work that everybody likes. Be the person at school that everybody likes. Be someone who is a genuinely good person and a genuinely interesting person. So make yourself an example that other people will say, that person's all right. And then if they find out that you're a men's rights activist, they'll be like, well, wait a minute. I've always heard that men's rights activists are these crazy misogynistic incels. But I know this person. I know Ben or Susan or Abba and Preach or whoever it may be, just to name drop a little bit. And they don't seem all that crazy. They don't seem like these right-wing, misogynist, incel, yada, yada, yada. And that's how it might start changing their minds. I think much more so than making videos like this, because anybody can sit down and make a video and say whatever they want. But it's who you are in the real world that will define how people see you. And that is how you represent the men's rights movement. Because remember, you're always playing at a disadvantage when people find out that you're an MRA. So turn it around. If people are expecting the worst from you, imagine the surprise when they get the best.